Get the king up. Time is running out. You see that little intro at the intro there. I got that idea actually from Russ Dizdar because that was his screensaver on his computer. Time is running out. So, hey, I don't know if there's anybody out there today that's hanging out with me on this, what is it, Tuesday morning? Guys, this is going to be a quick one. I've got some things I've got to do today. Hey, God bless you too, John. So I want to make a couple announcements. Okay. One, there's a show tonight. So I hope you tune into that 11 p.m. We're going to be live tonight. We have a special guest. It's going to be Colleen and I. And then we have the Go Therefore conference coming up in just a couple weeks. So I hope that if you're in the area, you can make it out for that. And then what else? I want to put there we go. Put an overlay on this. I just kind of jumped in there without even, this is just a very, very last minute show, guys. So anyway, show tonight. Go Therefore is next week. Everybody's going to be there. Not everybody, but it's going to be Coach Dave. It's going to be Derek and Sharon Gilbert, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. And it's going to be David Heavener, and it's going to be Greg Reed. It's going to be a great time. It's not too late to get signed up. Man, there's going to be a lot of people attending this. I've already heard some of the numbers. We're pushing like 200, which is going to be amazing. So, guys, I cannot wait to present my presentation, which is going to be on Friday night. I had to do a switcheroo with Vicky Joy, and I'm going to be out for a little bit on Saturday morning because my son is graduating from the program that many of you guys supported him in. So lots of cool stuff happening. Another announcement I want to make is live on the throughtheblack.com website are the new Resist t-shirts. So we redesigned the t-shirt, gave it a little bit of a bolder look, and it has a kind of worn look that that we put into the design. But this shirt has sold over 200 what am I trying to say? Over 200 t-shirts have been sold. So we wanted to do it again, but we're like, okay, how can we update this and just change it a little bit? So I'm really pleased with this. Throughtheblack.com. These are live now. If you guys want to support us, many of you guys do. You've supported us. We appreciate this. So guys, I want to talk about something real quick, okay? And this is kind of something that's really been an issue, and it's been controversial over the last few weeks. And that is the film, The Sound of Freedom, okay? This film came out a couple weeks ago, and obviously, as far as the box office is concerned, it's surprising a lot of people. It's almost, going to hit 100 million or something like that. So in our group of friends, there is a controversy about what are the motives behind the filmmakers, the actors, and the person that the film is about. I'm going to give you my personal take on that. You can take it or leave it, okay? I have a right to my own opinion. You have a right to your own opinion, and we're just, I just want to have a conversation about it, really. This is what I see. I see a lot of attacks on these people. I personally believe that the motives of this film are to touch hearts and minds about this epidemic of human trafficking, of child rape. I don't know how you can watch that film and feel like it's a psyop. I think most of the people that are critical of the film haven't watched the film, but I don't know how you can watch this movie and pay close attention to it and feel like this movie is a psyop, that they're actually trying to get you to support child abusers, that they're actually trying to get you to not do anything about human trafficking. There's never been a film that has got this much attention with this powerful of a message. And it would be foolish for those that are behind the film, the director, the actor, the producers, the actors, to say, let's make a movie about child trafficking so we could trick people into not caring about child trafficking. It's just completely insane. But that is what a lot of people are saying. Okay. To me, I just disagree with that. I disagree with that in so many ways. I want to mention a couple things. Okay. So one of the points of controversy is Tim Ballard, who the film is based on. He, his story's out there. He worked for Homeland Security for 12 years. Then he left so he could rescue more kids. If you go look at the evidence, which there's a lot, this man has run op after op after op for means operation to save children. Okay. 4,000 plus children have been saved by this team, Operation Underground Railroad. Okay. So, and then there's another 2,000 children that have been housed and helped from the connection, from the, because there's a need out there. Okay. Tim Ballard was running operations last year in Ukraine. And I told that story before. So he went to the Ukraine because his wife and Mel Gibson asked him to, and he was like, okay, this must be a sign or whatever. I don't know how Mormons get signs, but maybe from Mel Gibson. And he went over there, and by going to the Ukraine, it sent him to several other countries, and they were able to save a bunch of kids from a trafficking ring. Okay. The evidence is out there that this guy has dedicated his life to saving children. What does this have to do about Lee Harvey Oswald? Hold on, I'll tell you. Okay. So, no doubt, there's absolutely no doubt this guy is a Mormon. Okay. I have here the Book of Mormon, and it's also the Doctrine and Covenants and Pearl of Great Price. Many people don't know about the other two books. Okay. Most people know about the Book of Mormon. Why do I have the Book of Mormon? Because Mormons sometimes come to my door, and I want to know how to talk to them, and I want to know how to have a conversation with them where I can witness to them. I have witnessed to a lot of Mormons. I've spent a lot of time with a lot of Mormon missionaries. I love talking to these kids. I love asking them, what's the most difficult thing about being on a mission trip? And they, until I got blacklisted because they figured out what I was doing, they loved coming to my house because I was caring and compassionate towards them, and I challenged them. And man, I'll never forget seeing the look in some of their eyes when I'm revealing truth to them, and it's challenging the experience that they've had. Right. So, I reject Mormonism in every way. It is a cult. Okay. I would never promote Mormonism. I would always try to minister to somebody in Mormonism. There are testimonies of thousands of people coming out of Mormonism. Okay. Now, there are people saying that Tim Ballard is a Mason. I don't think he is. He's denied being a Mason. But it doesn't matter if he's a Mason or not, because he was involved in a Mormon ritual that's just like a Mason. Okay. So, there's not a lot of, it just doesn't make sense that he would be a Mason and that he would try to cover it up. That's one thing Masons don't care about. They don't promote it, but they don't try to hide it. What Masons do is they keep secrets. They keep secrets of other Masons. Okay. I'm well aware of the connection of Mormonism and satanic ritual abuse. I have been for a long time. It's out there. It happens in Mormonism. It also happens in Protestant churches. It also happens in Catholic churches. It also happens all over the world in Islam. It happens to Buddhists. It happens everywhere in every country. Okay. I'm not defending Mormonism. There is a problem, no doubt. Look at this book I have here. I've had this book for a long time, and it disappears on me. Satanic Ritual Abuse and Mormonism. Okay. This is documentation. I have no doubt. but it doesn't mean every Mormon is a Satanist or connected to satanic ritual abuse. It just doesn't. Folks, people do this. They do this guilt by association thing. And I use this example a lot where what if I was at a conference 5 years ago and one of the people at the conference turned out to be what? Say he turned out to be a Scientologist, or say he turned out to be a child abuser. People would say Tom Dunn is connected with that child abuser. Tom Dunn is connected to that Scientologist. Tom Dunn must be secretly a Scientologist. And he's been doing this all these years to try to recruit people into Scientology. Folks, if you watch my shows and you think that about me, and if somebody were to say that, make an accusation about me out there, and then you believed him, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm by no means defending Mormonism or Masons, but if a fireman shows up to your house to put out the fire, do you ask what religion he is? Do you say, no Mormons or Masons can put out a fire at my house? If you pay attention to the body language, guys, I've been reading this book for a couple months. It's the definitive book on body language. Okay. I'm learning a lot from this book, but to tell you the truth, most of us don't need this book. Okay. This book goes into detail to explain the things that we already know. Okay. And it's easy to read body language. Okay. It's easy to read body language. And you can be fooled by body language. It depends on where you're at, okay? But if you look at what Lee Harvey Oswald was accused of, okay, and you look at his body language and his response to the accusation made against him that he was the one that killed the president, doesn't prove his innocence, okay? But he responded in a way that an innocent man would respond. He said, I emphatically deny these charges. Very passionately. Very passionately. Then what happens? Like a couple days later, they killed him. Jack Ruby shot him. I believe it was a cover-up, okay? So we can look at the body language of Lee Harvey Oswald, and that helps us with a piece of the puzzle. I guess I would challenge you to look at the body language of the people that are being accused, like Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard. I think their body language says that they care about people. They care about children, and they sincerely want to see them saved. I pray for their salvation. I believe that what I believe is the way, and I believe that we come to the Father only through Jesus Christ. He's the only mediator between God and man. And I don't believe in praying to any other saints, and I don't believe in the false doctrine of Mormonism. And I pray that they would get saved, but it doesn't mean that these people can't be used to rescue kids. And it doesn't mean they're evil. No more evil than anybody else. But the accusation is out there over and over and over again. There are two people attacking this film: the liberal media, and then the Christians that are ODing on red pills that think everybody's in on it. And every time somebody does this, this means they're part of the Illuminati. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. So I don't say this out of anger. I say this out of compassion. I wish that we had people with as much passion fighting against the traffickers as we do fighting against the people that are trying to expose the traffickers. To me, it's just insane. I am trying to reason with anybody out there. I'm asking you, watch closely. The videos are out there. You can go look at the Operation Underground YouTube channel, and there's a lot of stuff there. You can watch it closely, you can critique it, and you can watch the body language, okay? And you can determine what these people really care about. It's not impossible that we could get fooled, but on these things, it's not likely. So, hang on. Whoops, hang on. Hey, sorry about that, folks. So anyway, it's not impossible that we could be fooled. But we can take a look at the body language of these people and other people, and there's plenty of interviews out there. Okay. Tim Ballard has denied being a child abuser, which he's been accused of, and he's also denied being a Mason. Okay. There's not enough evidence to say he's a Mason. The people are putting out a picture of him wearing a tie. You know what? Diamonds are common in tie designs. Look at them. Go, look up tie designs. Tell me what you see. Okay, for neckties, they're out there. There's a lot of them. Okay, we need more evidence than this. I'm scratching my head at a lot of this, folks. These accusations could be and probably will be made towards me. Okay. The Bible says that we should stop judging by appearances and make right judgment. What is the fruit? What is the fruit of this film? I believe the fruit of this film is good fruit. I believe the fruit of Tim Ballard, when it comes to rescuing children, is good fruit. I don't agree with his religious beliefs, but I support him rescuing children. Tell the 4,000 children that he's been involved in the rescue that he's a Mason. They don't care. And when it comes to rescuing children, I don't care either. There are many Masons that don't know what they're involved in. You and I listening, we know more about Masonry than most Masons. And if they knew the truth about Masonry, they would get out. And the same thing when it comes to Mormonism, the videos are out there. The ritual in Mormonism is very similar to the ritual in Masonry, and it's based on that. So I don't care if Tim Ballard's a Mason or not. He's a Mormon, and he did these rituals, and we know it. So, folks, I'm a filmmaker. I know when I made a film what I wanted to, the message I wanted to get out there. I made several films, but I'm speaking of the film Detestable. So, yeah, and hey, somebody's mentioned the film Contraland by Craig Sawyer. Craig Sawyer's been accused of many of these things as well. So, anyway, folks, I just wanted to throw this out there. I feel like we can know the truth, a lot of it, by looking at body language. It's, you know what? The thing I learned about this from this book is that no matter how good of a liar you are, your body will tell the truth. And if you can suppress the truth in your face, in your hands, your feet, what your feet do will tell on you. Okay. So I think it's ridiculous to say that Tim Ballard and Jim Caviezel are secretly blood drinking Satanist, torturing children. I think that's just completely unreasonable. Okay. The Angel Studios, definitely Mormon connections there. But it doesn't seem, as of right now, there is a major push to proselytize for Mormonism. It could be later. And it could be the bait and switch, honestly. They get a lot of people to trust them because of some of the good things that they put out, and then they switch it later. Would not surprise me for a second. Okay. It would not surprise me. And we can watch out for that. But this film, okay, was produced, directed by Catholic, starred a Catholic, okay, about a Mormon. and um, it was not produced by Angel Studios. They were the distributors. Okay, so there are movie companies, then there are distributors, and I don't know if anybody understands how it works. I don't fully understand how it works. So anyway, they're the ones, because no one else would put it out. So what if this film was made by Catholics and put out by a Hollywood company that is satanic? Would we be having this conversation? Maybe not. But obviously Disney owned it and nobody else wanted to touch it. Okay. You would think that if this was really an evil movie that wanted to promote, by sleight of hand child abuse, then these big Hollywood studios would put it out. Like, ooh, this is really good. I just think most of the people that are critiquing the film have not seen the film. The film is done very, very well, and it doesn't cover everything. People are saying, well, if this was legit, why doesn't it cover SRA? Are you kidding me? I'm glad it doesn't cover SRA. It's too much. You got to baby step people into this. I have a film that covers SRA, and if that wasn't in the film, it probably would have did a lot better. But there's never been a film like this that's getting this much attention on this subject, and less than 1% will probably respond. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. If less than 1% are inspired by this film to stand up and do something, that's amazing. Same thing with my film. Thousands of people have watched the film Detestable. Probably less than 1% have responded. I'll never forget the email I got years ago. Somebody said it changed their life. They quit what they're doing and they went to school so they could go and they could be a part of the ministry to help people in SRA, survivors and rescuing and all that. So, folks, I hope you just consider what I'm saying today. And I am in no way defending Mormons or Catholics or anything like that. I don't agree. With that. Yeah, and I see that. I see that up there. By the way, another thing that Tim Ballard has come out and said, he's like, I am totally against chipping children. So, because of the attacks, he's come out and responded to these things. Of course, people will say he's lying. I don't think that he is. Okay. I don't think that he is lying. He has a track record of rescuing children. Okay. You can't rescue children and then and do the things that he's accused of. Now there have been, let me say this. And yeah, okay, so somebody said Angel Studios are connected to the Clintons. We could scrutinize a lot of things, and just because that they support Polaris, which is connected to the Clintons, doesn't necessarily mean they're connected to the Clintons. Okay, it could be. I don't know. If they are, the Clintons got to be pretty mad with Angel Studios because they're exposing it. Okay, they really suck. Now, I will say on their website they promoted Polaris, which has connections to the Clintons. But again, what does that connection mean? Okay. What does that connection mean? Just like the example that I gave earlier of me being at a conference 5 years ago with somebody that turned out to be not a good guy, they would say Tom Dunn is connected to that bad guy. Okay. Therefore Tom Dunn is bad. I was at a conference 5 years ago with somebody that did something crazy. So Tom Dunn is crazy. Tom Dunn is bad. You know what? People will say these things about me. We have to get past this association, thing, or guilt by association is what we call it. But folks, I disagree with these attacks on the film and on these people. I agree that they're saying this guy's a Mormon. We need more evidence, and the evidence is that he is doing operations in other countries, and he's continuing to do it, and he's saving a lot of kids. Okay. Um, there's so much to be said about this, but I wanted to come on and just scratch the surface. Somebody said, what do you think Russ would think? I know exactly what Russ would think because we dealt with this. We talked about this. Russ said, quit doing the devil's job. The devil was the accuser. The devil was the accuser. He would tell people, quit doing the devil's job. What's happening now, by the way, this is nothing new. We've seen this over and over and over again. Okay. It goes back 30 plus years. These exact same things have been said about good people that have been doing good things. Okay. Notice I didn't say Christians. Okay. But the exact same things have been said about Christians who are doing good things. Okay. And about good people that are doing good things. Okay. So, Russ and I have had these questions or had these conversations a lot. And Russ has been to Utah. Russ and I have talked about this book. Okay. We know. What about the book Hell Minus One? That's another book on SRA connected to Mormonism. Okay. So Russ was very aware of Satanism connected to Mormonism. Okay. He was very aware of all these things. And the reason I'm making this video is because of my training with Russ. Okay. And we've seen this. And you know what? There have been times when I went to Russ and he was misinformed on something and I told him about it. And he was like, I didn't know that. Okay. And then there are times when he came to me and I was misinformed on something. I didn't know that. We have different pieces of the puzzle. Okay. And we don't all have the same information, but we can make good judgments by looking at the body language, and you can see the compassion in the eyes of Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard. I pray for their salvation. Mormons, they're not even close. Catholics believe in the same Trinity that we do, but they have these additions. It's Jesus plus. Okay. Of course, Catholics will say they're the one true church and you have to be a member of this church. I reject that. I don't believe that. I believe they're 100% wrong. Okay. There's other things that we could talk about Catholics, but Catholics, does that mean Catholics can't save babies? Because I see them out there more dedicated than Christians. They're the ones that are always at the abortion clinics praying. Okay. And just basically on the front lines, standing up for the babies and holding up signs and saying, stop killing babies. Okay. If they some of them may not make it to heaven. And that would be sad. Okay. But it doesn't mean that they can't save babies down here if they want. And the same thing with anybody else. There are atheist pro-lifers out there that are not going to make it to heaven. So I've met them. I've seen them. Okay. So anyway, folks, I don't know if this did any good. Usually it doesn't. But I just want to reason with you about these things. I think, that we can read body language and we can understand people's motives. Okay. If somebody were to make an accusation, a crazy accusation about me and say, Tom Dunn is a bad guy, or Tom Dunn, make up something that I did. Tom Dunn's really involved in this evil stuff, which, the trolls have done. Tom Dunn is really an abuser. We've had that, by the way. We've, in the last couple of years, Russ and I had some serious allegations against us by a survivor. And when we confronted them, they admitted that they made the whole thing up. Okay. We didn't confront them, but somebody else did on our behalf. So, folks, if somebody makes an accusation about Russ or me or one of my team members, and if somebody came to me about one of my team members and said these things, no, I know my team members. Okay. So anyway, and if you think that about me because somebody said that about me, somebody on a video said it. I could play the videos of the people that hate Tim Ballard, and you can see the hate in their eyes, and it's these survivors and it's these other people that are quote unquote rescuers. I see no compassion in their eyes. I don't even know, but anyway, whatever, guys. I'm just trying to reason with anybody out there. I reserve the right to be wrong, and I have been plenty of times. But my life is dedicated, okay, to Jesus Christ, and I want to fulfill His mission. I want to be in the center of His will, and you know what? Where God has put me, I wouldn't have picked this. I wouldn't have picked this. And people tell me because you wouldn't have picked it, that's why God picked you. He doesn't want the people that want to do it, so to speak. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to be in the center of God's will, and I want to please Him, and I want to obey Him. So because of all those things, I'm happy where I'm at, and I love doing what I'm doing. Okay. But yeah, this is not always fun. Okay. So anyway, I want to fulfill God's mission. I want to see kids rescued. I want to see people healed, delivered, saved. That's my life. And if anybody else comes along and says something to the contrary, they're liars. They're liars. And they will come along and they will say this. And they would even say this about me. And they would say, because I'm making this video, Tom Dunn is in on it. Tom Dunn is in on it. He's a part of the Illuminati. He's connected to the Clintons. Okay. And I could make the same accusations about people that are attacking Tim Ballard. They would be unfounded. So I would say pray for Tim Ballard, pray for Jim Caviezel. And I hope this movie touches so many lives. I really do. Because we needed to touch tens of thousands of millions of people so we can get to that 1%. So, guys, I'm going to be back on tonight with Colleen. I went way over. I had no plans of going 32 minutes. Guys, don't forget, if you came in late, yes, we have new Resist shirts, okay? We want to be the front line of the resistance against the satanic takeover of our culture, and this is our t-shirt to go along with that. So, guys, throughtheblack.com is the website. I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate the support, the prayers. We need the prayers. I wish I could tell you the amazing things that God has done in my personal life. One day I will, and it is simply a miracle from heaven. I can't wait. I can't wait to share this. I'm going to see some of you guys tonight. I'm going to see some of you guys next week. Just appreciate everything that everybody has done so much. But hey, we'll see you. Bye.